Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be making a custom spice drawer and I'm really excited about it because I've always wanted one. Right now my spices are very disorganized and I don't have all of the spices that I would like to have, so this is kind of like a pusher to really make my spice experience complete. I love the idea of a spice drawer as opposed to a spice rack because it's nice and organized and hidden and also saves countertop space, and if you've seen my apartment you know that I do not have any countertop space. And I'm really excited to make a custom spice drawer so I can take you guys along for the journey and show you any points that you could customize and make it completely your own to match your own aesthetic, and I think it's going to be so much fun. This is the drawer that I'm using to put my spice drawer in. It used to be a junk drawer, but I'm stepping it up in the world and getting rid of my junk drawer. Maybe I will regret it, but for right now I'm going to have a really nice place for my spices. Before I get into it, I just want to say that today's video is sponsored by Cricut. I love them and I love my Cricut. The Cricut that I use is the Explorer Air 2, and I have made so many different projects by now with my Cricut. I can't even name them all off the top of my head anymore. Some of my favorites are definitely the organization in my bathroom, the pillow in my living room, my hallway design, and this fridge that's behind me right now. No surface is safe in my apartment. The Explorer Air 2 is very versatile and it can cut so many different materials. Here are some of my favorite ones that I can cut on the screen. There are so many different possibilities for DIYs with this. Today I will be using removable vinyl to make labels, but the possibilities are endless. But let's not waste any more time and get straight into this DIY. So these are the specific spice drawer organizers that I got. I got them off of Amazon. I'll put like a little picture of the ones that I got. These are completely up to you though. You could definitely buy ones that specifically fit in your drawer. These ones are adjustable, so they do this, and that way you can fit them to any drawer width. My drawers are actually really deep, so I couldn't find any that were long enough this way, so I actually bought 2 packs of these so that way I could have that extra depth if I layer them on top of each other, which not the most convenient thing ever, but here we are. So I just got these plain white ones, but they also have black, they have plastic ones, they have see-through ones, all different sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors. So just kind of look into what would work best for you and your space. And these are the actual spice containers that I got. I really wanted ones that had gold lids to them. I know that's really extra, but I was looking for those and I couldn't find them, but these will do. You can also get a bunch of different shapes and sizes for these as well. They have ones that are shorter or more rounded and all that kind of stuff. If anything, I would just recommend getting some that have at least one flat side like this. That way when you put it in the drawer, it won't roll around or anything. These are the specific ones that I got. I also got them off of Amazon. I believe they come with labels, and I believe most of the ones that you can order come with labels. However, they don't have labels for every single spice that you would personally use, and they're not that pretty. So I'm going to show you guys today how I am going to make custom labels for every single spice that I use for every single jar, and it's going to be my aesthetic and so much fun. So let's get into it. You're going to want to measure your jars first to make sure that when you're sizing your labels they actually end up fitting, because that would really stink if they didn't. So I want my labels to be a little bit fun but still a little bit simple so that it matches everything else in my kitchen and looks clean. I'm opting for this rounded design and I'm making the letters as the cutouts, that way it looks really clean and organized, just like in my bathroom. You could also make yours a simple rectangle, or you could make the letters themselves the statement and make them a really cool font, or you could just really go crazy with the shapes for the labels and live your best life. Once I had my labels designed, I put them all into one organized PNG image and removed any of the white in the image before I brought it into the Cricut design space. This is just going to save me a lot of time in the end, kind of clicking on the different areas for cutouts, and also just save my energy in general trying to organize them. I'm using this black removable vinyl for my labels because I want to be able to take them off and replace them if I need to for any reason, or if I just mess up while putting them on during the process, which happens a lot too. I chose black because I already have some really fun black designs in my kitchen, but you could totally choose white or any of their other fun removable colors. Here are some of my favorite colors they have, which I seriously debated using, but I got indecisive last minute, so if you try them out, please tag me so I can see. I'm sending them to cut to my Explorer Air 2, and I don't know about you guys, but I love watching it cut. It is just so satisfying watching your design come come to life. Then I just go ahead and remove any of the excess vinyl, and I'm using some of this transfer tape to grab the designs. To make this process go as fast as possible, I recommend putting the transfer tape all over the entire thing instead of cutting them out into separate sections. After you've done that and you remove it all, then I go ahead and cut them into separate sections once it's already on one big piece. I have just found that this saves a lot of time in the end. Then I just use a squeegee to attach the labels to the containers, and I'm left with something like this. Once I have my beautiful jars made, I just need to fill them in, and I totally recommend buying spices in bulk just like this. If you're able to, you can store them away in a bin and refill when necessary, and this will reduce a lot of waste significantly, and you also will save money in the long run. This is a super time-consuming process to put all of the spices into the jars, but I promise you it is worth it in the end. So now onto the installation. This is how the organizers work. As you can see, they just overlap and you can pull them apart or push them together however much you need to. Adjustable ones like this are perfect for anyone who can't find one that fits your drawer perfectly, just like me. And like I said before, my drawers are really deep, so I'm actually overlapping them, which I don't recommend, but I'm doing. Once I got my organizers in there, it looked something like this. Then I'm just adding all of my spices in, and you can rearrange them however you want to. You could do it by color or by name or just by what you use the most being in the front. Now here is an aesthetic montage of the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you try to make your own custom spice drawer, please tag me in any photos because I'm very curious and I really want to see how you customize them. I feel like everyone needs one of these. Thank you so much again to Cricut for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to you for being here, and I'll see you guys all next week for some more design stuff. Bye guys!